A somber anniversary is being run right across the country today, including right here in the BC capital. 22 years ago today, 14 women were killed in what has become known as the Montreal Massacre. Tonight, a candlelight vigil is being held at the BC Legislature on this National Day of Remembrance. Tess Van Straten is there and joins us live with the details. Tess?
Stacey, it's a day etched in Canadian history. 22 years ago, Marc Lépine opened fire at L'École Polytechnique in Montreal. He targeted female students. In the end, he killed 14 women. Across the country, people are remembering on this National Day of Remembrance, not just that event, but all of the violence against women in this country. Behind me, you'll see people with candles for this candlelight vigil tonight at the BC Legislature. They're holding roses. They have bands on their arms remembering the day that Marc Lépine opened fire, and also remembering all of the victims of violence in this province and right across the country. Joining me now is the organizer of tonight's candlelight vigil, Virginia. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Now, why is it so important to have events like this?
It's important to hold events like this to raise awareness on violence. Violence affects every woman, regardless of nationality, social standing, age. Doesn't matter, it impacts all of us on a daily basis.
Now, it's been more than 2 decades since this horrific event, and a lot of people say we haven't done enough. We still have lots of violence. It's endemic in society. What do you think about how much has been done since this happened?
I think we've come to some stature of movement forward, but I think there's still a lot more that we need to do. And I think that if every person did one thing, I think that would help to make that movement further.
All right, thank you very much, Virginia Vaillancourt, the organizer of tonight's event. Now, they're just about to get underway tonight here at the BC Legislature. They're expecting between 100 and 200 people on this National Day of Remembrance. There has been some controversy, though, at the University of Victoria. The events that were planned were cancelled. This is the first time in 19 years that classes weren't cancelled on the last day of the semester to mark the Montreal Massacre and the National Day of Remembrance. Stacey?
All right, thanks very much. That's Tess Van Straten reporting live from the BC Legislature tonight. And that brings us to our checkpoint question this evening. Do you think enough is being done to prevent violence against women? We'd like to hear from you. You can tweet us at check_news, on Facebook at facebook.com/checknews, or email checkpoint@checknews.ca. Here are some of your responses.
I think there's so many women probably who are so vulnerable that a lot of that, I think, goes undetected or unnoticed, and people don't talk about it still.
I think it's something that starts in the home and starts in the schools, educating children and young adults.
I think that social services for women are drastically lacking, and that funding is being cut every day, and that prevention-wise and education-wise, there's not even close to enough being done.
I think that we haven't really gotten at the basics of it. I don't think throwing money at it is the answer. I think we need fundamental shift.
I think education is probably a big factor here. I think that probably more sensible sentencing for perpetrators would probably help as well.
And here's what you're seeing on social media tonight. Catherine says more needs to be done for everybody, not just women. Jose writes, it's an ongoing vicious cycle. Therefore, there will never be the state of enough has been done. And Terry posts no, and getting rid of the long gun registry is a step back. And that's tonight's Checkpoint.